Welcome to the Football Retro Podcast.
The word welcome, I guess, is stretching it a little when you're an Australian in a place like this today.
Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Football Retro Podcast. I'm your host Johnny, and today I'm joined by a full table and a fired up fatty. How you doing, guys?
Sorry.
What a start to the podcast, guys.
What's going on? I just realised when you were doing that intro, Darcy was just straight down the barrel of the camera. I don't know who he was looking at.
His fans.
Yeah, man.
The stat man straight down
Emerson
his fans.
thinks I'm a nerd, so... Emerson, the Brazilian midfielder.
Do you have a personal story with him as well?
No, he just voted on his poll and they called me in.
So the story is that in one of the episodes we did a clip from it, and on the Football Retro Insta account, we said, do you think Adas is a nerd? Yes or no?
I recall that.
And Emerson, the actual footballer.
Emerson, the actual footballer.
Yes.
Verified account with a blue
Yes,
tick.
with the blue tick.
blue tick.
Not just him, Ivan Klasnic as well.
Oh my god! Dave, your personal beef list has grown.
They clicked on yes. So
Well, it reached to Croatia and Brazil, or wherever they are.
Adas has got a personal beef with a lot of players out
Wow.
there. International beef.
Emerson and Ivan
Emerson.
Klasnic.
We forgot the main one.
But he played for Real, so...
Who?
Platini.
Oh yeah, no, but we already know about that. Platini is too old to be on social media, but that's why he probably hasn't responded.
I feel
to
like you're
anything.
extra angry today.
No, I don't know. Just had a rough week dealing with a lot of Indians. So. It's just been, I'm just letting out my frustration. This is my medium to sort of let that out.
We're seeing the real you.
I've got to be polite to these people and I don't want to be.
But
Raw.
with all your swearing last week, a lot of people might have got offended and cut our show and suspended our show.
Oh, well, we're going to get cancelled soon then. Tis the culture, isn't it? This is a trend nowadays, right? Isn't that right?
Cancel culture, is it?
Ak?
Yeah, 100%. You got to watch what you say on social media, mate.
Wow.
We've got what's it called? Are you a fact checker?
Am I a fact checker?
Independent fact
Do you
checker.
moonlight as a fact checker, like when you're not doing
What do
your
you mean?
normal
Like,
job?
you mean like just for fun, like
No,
my
like
own,
on
or-
Facebook, are you one of those fact checkers that says this is incorrect? No, incorrect, because this didn't actually happen.
You mean stopping
This
spreading
happened.
disinformation?
I'm just asking.
Which
No,
was
but like, is that what you meant? Like to stop spreading
No, that's
disinformation?
fact checker bullshit at Facebook.
Yeah, I'm asking, is that to stop spreading disinformation?
Okay, I'm going to ask the question differently. Do you get paid to fact check on social media?
And I'm asking, is that to stop spreading
So you haven't
disinformation?
answered
Yes.
the question.
Yes, it is.
You're an insider with Zuckerberg, maybe.
Are you getting
Zuckerberg.
paid to do it?
Unfortunately, no. I do that on my own.
Does it for
free
free?
Voluntarily.
Alright, we're getting
Oh,
way,
sorry. You
way
asked
off
the
topic.
question.
I know.
will. He regrets it.
Speaking of angry people, how do you think Cristiano feels this week?
But why did you ask me that question?
Because you're the angriest person I know.
Cristiano Ronaldo will be very pissed off. You know, being knocked out in the round of 16, Champions League. Not good enough.
I don't say. What do you mean? Why should he be the one that's pissed off? And
Because
not
he's
just-
ve-
Because
because
his ego.
Not just
His ego.
Juventus, not every player that plays.
Well, he expects a lot from himself, and he wants to achieve. And like, he's always been competitive that way. And given the past 2 years now, they've been knocked out in the round of 16. He's like, "What have I got myself into?"
it's not about. Look, I think for Ronaldo specifically, it's always a lot of the time it's about him. A lot of people don't like that about him. That's why they say, "Oh, we don't like Ronaldo." Like people in that Messi v Ronaldo debate. I know a lot of people that say Messi because they don't like Ronaldo's personality or
Yeah, true,
his
true.
ego or whatever it is. So they put aside footballing ability or
Mhm.
whatever they've achieved, and they say, "Oh, I don't like Ronaldo." So I get that, and that's probably where his question comes from: is how angry do you think he was? Because he comes across as very egotistical. So he'd be more upset that he didn't get
That's
an
right.
opportunity to achieve something with another club, as opposed to the team didn't make it.
And you get that feeling. Like, he'd be more, like Fatty said, he'd be more upset about him not winning the Champions League than Juventus not winning the Champions League.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think you guys break that down very accurately. He's always been an incredibly ambitious person, and he's always in that eternal
twist
battle
to
with
it,
SEA.
Yeah.
You've been reading your thesaurus
He-
instead of egotistical. He said ambitious.
And could he realise now that this is probably last few chances that he's going to get?
That's true.
You know, he wants to win it with third time, like not third time, like
With third club.
third club, yeah, be up that list.
Yeah.
And one player's ever done
Seedorf.
that.
Who?
Clarence said
Clarence Seedorf.
Seedorf's won it with 3.
Ajax.
Yeah.
Ajax,
Milan.
AC Milan,
and
and
Real
Real Madrid.
Madrid, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, coming off this, do you think, especially you guys as Real Madrid fans, and I asked you guys,
Yeah.
Why does this always
It's-
come up? We haven't
Look,
got.
I
we
did.
give Arsenal love,
We're
don't
talking about
we?
We have
Cristiano
not
Ronaldo.
gone one
Naturally, it comes
episode.
up.
We have not gone one episode without mentioning Real Madrid.
I
Talk
did.
to the host.
I did promise some of the listeners and viewers that we'll try to keep it to under 70 Real Madrid references this week.
Well, you're at 7 already. So you're at 10
Hey,
for
you
that.
talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, it's naturally going to come up. Unlike when
We're
we're
talking
talking
about
about
Juventus.
when we're talking about fucking any other club, you bring up. Oh yeah, I remember that time where they versed Arsenal and played against Dennis Bergkamp in the Euros.
Well, 2006,
Or
Henri's goal at
yeah,
Bernabeu.
come on, man.
Yeah, but
Hey.
I'm sticking to the theme of this podcast, which is
Yeah,
retro.
you stick to the theme, which is retroactively talking about Arsenal. That's the theme with the podcast.
Anyway, so I said Real Madrid and they got defensive.
Anyway, what was your question?
So, what I was saying was, do you think that this now, with Cristiano going to Juventus and not achieving the Champions League title, do you think it highlights more that the Real Madrid titles they won consecutive was more of a team or a club effort than it was, or some people made it out to be like Cristiano won and had a big percentage to play?
Oh, look, he played his part, and no one's doubting his contribution to that success with his goals and what he did for the club. But it wasn't, at the same time, it wasn't just him, because the whole squad at the time, whole team was on fire with under Zidane's tutelage.
You can't say it can't be like a Maradona at Napoli sort of thing.
No,
That's
he
not-
played
definitely
his
not.
part, but it wasn't just him. He had Ramos, Modric, Benzema, Bale, Kroos, and Casemiro, etc. that also played their just as big a part.
Because
Ronaldo.
the reason
Like,
I
I'm-
ask,
yeah,
the reason I ask is these Champions League titles is what makes him this great. Apart from obviously he's a freak,
Yeah.
but consecutive titles, different clubs. But at the same time, it's a tough question to answer, and it's impossible to know the answer to.
Yeah.
But do you think Real Madrid would have won titles, maybe 1, 2, or 3, without him there?
Look, I've got to say, to be honest, it is a tricky one. I don't think they would have won any of those Champions League titles without him.
he played a big play. Like
he was a talismanic figure.
He was
Wow.
clutch.
To be honest, I think it's a little unfair to Cristiano Ronaldo to put that kind of narrative, because after all, Lionel Messi, who's never moved clubs, who stayed at Barcelona since the beginning of his senior professional career, he's seen players come and go. And you could make the argument that Barcelona has not risen to the top since Xavi and Iniesta retired, since Gerard Piqué was at his peak or at his prime. And when Neymar left, they've not actually been able to claim European dominance. So would you ask the same question for Lionel Messi on how much did Messi influence versus Neymar or
You can't talk bad about
Xavi or
Ronaldo
Iniesta?
at Real
No,
Madrid,
like the
'cause you're
stabs,
gonna get-
the
you're gonna get-
Barcelona
yeah,
stabs
that's
come out of nowhere. Like no,
No,
no one's talking
just
about
asking.
Messi or
That was
Barcelona.
not me.
And
No,
all of a
it's
sudden-
not a stab. I'm saying you're the one asking the question. Would you ask that of Messi as well?
If you look at Barcelona's history before and after Messi, I think there is a before and after. So I think Messi had a bigger impact on Barcelona than Cristiano possibly did in Real Madrid.
Look, I mean, possibly, but that's also because Real Madrid's history has been more successful. That's nothing that Ronaldo or Messi can do about it. But the point still stands that if
So
you're
in
saying
regards
that-
in regards to the MSN era, I don't think they would have won the Champions League or the Liga titles they did if Messi wasn't there. With Real Madrid,
you honestly
you
think
say,
that would've-
you honestly reckon that out of the 3, they wouldn't have at least won 1 without Ronaldo there?
look, it stands to reason that they would have been able to challenge, definitely. But in those 3 Champions League runs, particularly,
He was big.
he was Mr. Champions League.
Like,
he was on fire throughout
Okay.
those tournaments.
Like there was a lot of games where he came clutch. Like he literally pulled Real by himself through the
You
winning
know me,
those
I'm
matches.
not the biggest Cristiano Ronaldo fan. When he left, I wasn't that upset. But at the same time, I can't take it away from the fact that I don't think that
Yeah.
they would win.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to back you up here. I've got nothing to say.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm putting the question forward, and I wanted to,
Look,
Yeah.
and I wanted to hear your side
And
of
it's
the
a fair
story.
question, but
no,
like,
yeah, it's,
After he slapped you around, then he
yeah.
says it's a fair question.
Barcelona jab.
After he fucking fired back at you.
I could ask
How
anyone.
can
it's a
fight
fair
back at him?
question.
I'm not fight back at him.
On the other hand, what does this mean for Juventus? A club that won the last 9, I believe, Serie A titles.
Yeah, so
So then the big objective has been the Champions League, which they haven't won since '96. So they invested this money in Cristiano. Someone recently, I can't remember who it was, has come out and said it was a bad choice to get Cristiano on
I
board.
think it was Cassano that said that.
That's right, it was
But
Cassano.
I think, look,
So it lost all credibility. what I just said.
Juve's problems, I think, you can't just put them just solely on Ronaldo. I believe. I think they've got an aging squad. To be fair, like they've got all these free transfers that all look great on paper that they bought, like Khedira, Alves, so Aaron Ramsey was free.
Yeah.
Came out.
Yep.
great on paper, but they're an aging squad. They're getting old, and they need reinforcements. They need fresh talent as well.
Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying
and Perlo as well.
I'm not trying to slap every single person tonight on this podcast.
But
they're not exactly an aging squad anymore, Darcy. They brought in Bernadeschi, they brought in Chiesa, they brought in Douglas Costa. I think Douglas Costa's gone back to Bayern Munich. But I mean, Sami Khedira's not there anymore. Dani Alves is not there anymore. The only two that are really aging is Chiellini and Bonucci. I think their team is
not
pretty
aging.
young. Sorry?
Did you say not aging?
I think they're not an aging squad, no.
Chiellini is not aging.
No, I said
Yeah,
besides
they've
Bonucci.
got-
You've got to listen,
I was
Faye.
gonna
You've got to
say,
listen.
They've
man.
got
Get it
Morata there, and he's been hot and cold.
He's been on fire this year.
Yeah, look, I think they've got, and plus Perlo. I don't know, is he out of his depth? Maybe he's just.
Yeah, look, I'm
the coach the under 23s, and then he left 9 days later. He got the top job.
Look, I'm inclined to agree that I believe it's more of an issue that they brought in a manager that wasn't ready for this. Because, like I said, they brought Federico Chiesa in from Fiorentina. He's been doing really well this last month alone.
The fact, look, they're an aging squad, whatever you want to say, but they've got a team good enough to go through Porto.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was disappointing, I think. Which shout out though to Pepe. 38-year-old Pepe had a great game. That one, he was immense. But yeah, that's a big disappointment. 2 years in a row now. Round of 16, like last year against Leon, now Porto. You'd expect them to get through.
It's incredibly disappointing considering they brought Ronaldo
For
in
that reason.
For that reason.
Yeah.
Becoming third in Serie A, is
That's
that
right, third. Behind AC, Milan and Inter.
And I think that's the thing, because they won the last 9 titles,
Yep.
That's not
They-
priority.
but you expect minimum to win the 10th title. Do you know
No,
what I
I
mean?
don't expect. No, I don't think so.
It's not so much
Going
that
for the 10th would have
It's
been.
not so much that
I
I think
think-
I think that is right, but at the same time, it's kind of like to go from winning 9 in a row to not only not winning the European title, but then not winning that 10th, but to come third so far. It's a bit of a decline.
I think their whole focus and point of getting Cristiano Ronaldo, as you said, was to go for the Champions League
Mhm.
Yep.
title.
Yeah, it was.
So they maybe it was a bit of complacency in terms of the Scudetto. They thought,
They could coast it, but
we'll win it again because it's become so familiar to them 9 years in a row.
Yep.
So that they thought, yeah, okay, let's just focus on Champions League because this is just going to
But
come anyway.
did they realise
But
that
they
Milan?
didn't realise that the Milans and the Inters have already started to step up. Or
Yeah.
I hope that there's that resurgence again in Italian football.
Oh, we missed
Go
that.
back to what it was.
We missed those
you know,
days.
The 90s Italian football was
So
something different.
what does it take to go back there? Is it signings of big players? Is there more television coverage for us here in Australia?
For me
What is
personally,
it?
I feel like Italian football nosedived after
Calciopoli.
after the scandal.
Yeah.
A lot of people then were like, there's no credibility here, because you started to doubt every game that you watched. Is this real? Is it not? Is it fixed? Is it not fixed? So people then just started to drift away from that. I think that's what, for me anyway, personally, that's what hurt.
That amongst other things as
Yeah.
well, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think you're spot on with that. It tremendously hurt Serie A, especially because after Calciopoli, in terms of competition wasn't what it was. Inter ran away with several Serie A titles afterwards.
Yeah.
Juventus took several years to get back up to the top.
Milan won it once, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a real struggle afterwards. But I think Serie A was already on a decline, and I think it comes down to TV rights. So in the Premier League, their TV rights, not only are their TV rights being sold for a lot more money than Serie A was,
Equally distributed too.
but that's what I was going to say before you interrupted me, Darcy. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Sorry.
So did you bring a glove today?
Slap,
I
bro.
challenge you to a duel.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
I think Fatty's anger is just
Teamwork.
getting into me.
Teamwork.
No, but I think what Darcy said is very accurate. I think there is an unequal distribution of that TV money, and I think that truly hurts the smaller clubs.
Is that still the case, or that's being fixed now?
I think it's in the process of being fixed, and it might have
process,
actually
yeah.
been fixed in the last year or two.
Yeah.
But the damage has already been done for Serie A, hasn't it? It's been done.
Yeah.
The damage has been done for the last 15 years.
Take a while to come back.
So while La Liga caught up a lot faster and was able to be propped up by their two big clubs, Serie A has just not been able to compete financially with the Premier League, with La Liga, even with Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So what would it take to get Serie A back to where it was?
Maybe a couple of maybe foreign investors to take over a couple of
Sheikhs.
clubs. Yeah.
Sheikh bin Salman
Yeah.
buying out one of the Milans, and
Yeah.
Well, I think both Milan clubs are bought out by foreign investors already.
Chinese
Yeah,
investors.
and just not super wealthy like the Man Cities or the Chelseas or the PSGs. but I think that some foreign investment, like Darcy said, Fiorentina is owned by the guy who owns Neo Cosmos. I'm not sure. Rocco Commisso, he owns. He's a billionaire from the United States. I think it's the TV deals. I think once we get better TV deals for Serie A presence in the United States and Australia, and then also I think you need the rivalries that we all started to follow football from 20, 30 years ago. When Ronaldo went to Juve, he brought a lot of attention to Juventus and to Serie A, and like we talked about before with the possibility of Messi going to Serie A. If he was to go to Inter and you reignited that rivalry, I think that would be very helpful.
Be huge. Even though then I would think it would be huge.
Can I get a prediction? Who's going to win Serie A?
I'm going to say AC. I'm going to think Conte's going to bottle it for some reason. I see AC getting through.
Well, I think when I last checked, Inter is 9 points ahead
of AC.
Of AC Milan. So, honestly, I'd have to say Inter.
Yeah.
But I think, regardless of whether AC win it or not, I think it's been a very successful season for them. Yeah. If they can hang on to a Champions League spot, that'd be massive.
Yeah, Milan back in the Champions League, it's just a fairy tale, right?
Yeah.
The Champions League nights at the San Siro is what we always used to watch.
It's incredible because they've
on ESPN.
They qualified for Europa League the last 2 years in a row.
Doesn't suit them.
But 2 years ago, they were not able to enter it because of financial fair play issues.
Yeah.
So they're only this past season have they been able to have European competition, and to go from that to maybe a Champions League spot, they could be on their way.
Good progression.
They're playing United, obviously, in the Europa League.
Yeah. What was the result?
1-1. And Harry Maguire, that sitter from 1 metre out.
$80 million defender, there you go.
How do you miss that?
Amazing.
But Zlatan wasn't playing though.
It was a late equaliser by Milan as well.
Yep.
And Milan were playing away?
Yes. They got an away goal.
Wow.
And Zlatan missing. I don't know if he's back.
The calibre of game we used to see in the Champions League, then United against Milan.
Yeah, but when you think of United and Milan in the Champions League, you think of Kaká, that mazy run.
Cristiano back there, Rooney.
You think about those games and those nostalgic European nights. You don't think of them scrapping it out in the Europa or the old UEFA Cup, which I think it still should be called. I hate that new name. I hate that Europa. Like the UEFA Cup is what it is.
Yeah. Just a straight knockout too was good too.
Like I was going to say, especially because I like the fact that it was a tournament that was a straight knockout. That was different to Champions League. There was a different wrinkle there.
You know why though? Because you used to finish third in the Champions League group and you go straight into the UEFA Cup. You could go down.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case.
Still is.
Yeah.
But it used to be knockouts straight away, so you've already played enough games. Because you played the group stage in the Champions League. You've lost and you rejoin the UEFA Cup with the teams that have already played there. So then you'll come back into the knockout stages because you've already played at the higher tier. You don't need to still play a two-legger.
And there's like 10 in the knockout stage, like 10 groups. So there's so many games, and all played on the same night. There's so many games being played in Europa League. No one can keep track of it.
Yeah, it's too long.
Unless you're a fan of the club that's in there, which Arsenal is.
Stab.
Fuck, Angus getting down. It started here, went to you, continued to
that was great though. That was fantastic. You got to say. That took me by surprise.
Trust me, Real was so close to being in that tournament that we got through. Anyway,
Johnny, what's the next on the agenda, mate?
No, I wanted to.
We didn't answer the question about who's going to win Serie A. I'd like Inter Milan to win it.
Me too.
I've got a soft spot for Inter.
From when?
I like them.
I saw them play. I think played for them.
Yeah, who?
I like them.
But who?
No, actually not, because I didn't like Bergkamp back then. I didn't know who Bergkamp was in
Brings
Serie A.
Bergkamp back into the conversation.
So if that's what you're alluding to, no, that is not the case.
Yeah, I like the Ronaldo, Zamorano days.
Correct. So I love Inter Milan. Yeah, Djorkaeff and
Taribo West with that hairstyle.
Taribo West, the green hair.
There he is on the back of Johnny's poster.
That's right.
There you go.
By the way, everyone's excited about your hot tips tonight.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Who are you talking about specifically?
I've got
names.
I've got 4,826 inboxes asking for your hot tips.
How'd you go last week?
Some people won money, some people lost money, but we'll get to that.
Apparently a lot of people lost big money because they saw that the EPL tips went really well and they're like, just put whatever he says. And they threw big money on Barca PSG and obviously...
You shouldn't have had that faith, mate. I don't know what to say.
Got slapped.
Speaking of Barca, new precedent. We spoke about it a bit last week. Barca's future, is it looking differently? Do you think he'll do something? Do you think he'll change much?
It's going to be a different time for what he was in before, I think, when he came in 2003. Now the case, he's come back, and the number one priority is sorting out the Lionel Messi situation. So how does he handle that? Does Messi stay?
I think personally it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
As Darcy said, it's a different time, but he's almost coming back to a club in turmoil.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of shit going on at Barcelona behind the scenes, and it all started from that saga where is Messi staying, is not, and then words were said publicly that can't be unsaid.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of shit behind the scenes there that people don't know, and it's showing in the results, and it's showing in how Barcelona is playing. Barcelona is not Barcelona. They're not the Barcelona that teams feed. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. It remains to be seen whether he can bring that club back to its sort of those glories that he was initially there.
It's funny because you said like you think it's a bit too early to tell. I actually think it's too late. I think Messi's gone.
No, I mean in terms of, I think I was referring to in terms of the president and what he can do.
Will it convince him to stay?
It can't. But you know what? I think you're putting too much emphasis on Messi staying. Messi's at the end of his career. Like he's got another 2 years.
34 soon, isn't he? Yeah.
Okay, give him
34
another.
in June.
True.
Okay,
True.
let's call it 2 to 3 years. You can't, like, is he going to give Barcelona what it needs in the last 2 years to project them into the next 10, 15 years?
The way I look at it, though, the way I look at that, Fatty, and the reason why I think he can, is it's not even what he can do on the field, which, let's be honest, he's still playing at a really high level. But it's what the money he's able to bring in allows him to compete in the transfer market, allows him to attract players. If he was to leave now, I don't see them being able to compete very, very well come June.
That's true. He's the draw card. Because
He's the draw card, but also financially, what money is coming in? They've been struggling financially for the last couple of years. They've been having a little issues with financial fair play. Without Messi bringing in that income, like we talked about the other week, Johnny, I don't see them being able to compete for. Like apparently, there's a rumor that they're going to try to bring Haaland in, and they're dangling Coutinho for Haaland. Like I don't see how if that's it, then that's
I'm sure Dominant jumping at the.
Yeah, exactly. Like.
Now I know we're a football retro show, and we talk about the retro, but there's a trend going on here. I think today could be football future. So prediction: what's going to happen with Barcelona? Is Messi going to stay? What do you guys think?
I think Messi will stay and finish off with one last paycheck somewhere obscure for ridiculous money for one season or something, just as a bullshit.
So do you think come July 1st he'll be a Barca player?
Yes.
I think so too. I reckon he'll stay somehow. Find a reason to stay. Yeah.
I think he'll go. I think he's gone. I think he's gone to PSG, and I think he's going to link up with a couple of these other older players. Sergio Aguero, I think, is going to link up there at PSG. I think he's gone, and I think what we're going to see is Barcelona needing to try to rebuild around Frankie de Jong and Ansu Fati.
Yeah.
That's big pressure.
Yeah.
That's massive pressure on those youngsters.
But anyone who replaces Messi or that figurehead is going to have the pressure.
But then Barcelona's going to be in a lull for the next
Can I ask
3 to
you,
5 years.
what would you guys do with the number 10 jersey?
I wouldn't retire it.
I don't think FIFA allows you to retire it.
Whether you retire it or not.
Who's going to stop
Some
you?
clubs have because of
in terms of
player
retirement.
passing away, I think. But
Who's going to stop? Who's going to stop you? So if you say no, we're not putting out number 10.
Yeah,
it's
it's not so much about retiring as much as would you slap it onto the next player that you get,
Yeah,
or would you leave it for a few years?
Well, speaking, there's rumours of when Messi was about to leave last year, Braithwaite asked for the number 10 jersey.
Who?
Martin Braithwaite, the Danish striker.
How is he even there? Like,
Stupid rules in La Liga. How we got there?
so you reckon he'll go? You reckon he'll stay and stay? I want him to go, but I think he'll stay.
No.
I want him to go though. I hope he goes PSG, Inter, wherever. I don't think he'll go to Man City.
I don't think he's also enjoying his football. To be
You can
honest,
tell his body language.
I can see him when he'll score and whatever. Yes, he's still
Look,
there.
it depends.
mentally,
It depends
like
on the
in
project.
terms of his skill, but I don't feel like his heart's there anymore.
You can tell body language.
It depends on the project they present him. It depends on who they're going to promise him that they're going to come in regards to transfers.
And I think manager-wise, it doesn't excite.
Speaking
It's
of,
not
I
exciting.
read that the new president has in mind the coach from Leipzig, the
Nagelsmann.
33-year-old.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit
That's
young.
big expert.
He's
That's
very
big
young, but
pressure.
Real Madrid were
He said I'm not ready for Real Madrid yet as well. So
33 years old, but to be young to be
He is very young. Real Madrid
big
are
shoes to
interested in,
fill,
though.
man.
coaching a Barca.
He's a very progressive coach. He plays very beautiful
No,
attacking
he's
ball.
one
The
of those
pressure,
work
the
coaches.
pressure's on another
He's
level.
He's a work coach, is he? Very progressive.
But the pressure in La Liga and especially Barcelona Real is just another level compared to where he's at.
You think
So.
he's probably too young for that?
Yeah, he even said himself. He said, "I'm not ready yet for that."
No, yeah, fair enough. Like I think whoever they bring in, it's going to be a massive task for both a new coach and any players that they bring in if Messi leaves, or if Messi stays. To be honest, if Messi stays and you're a player that coming in, you have the pressure to go in. Wow, like this is Messi's last few years.
Yeah.
We've got to make sure it's
Yeah,
good.
but if Messi's heart's not there, what are you really gaining? I don't know. I just feel Barcelona the last year and a half to 2 years has been very stable.
In so many ways, Messi's like the last player. I know Busquets is still there of that old guard. I mean,
Yeah.
Xavi's not
PK.
there. Messi's not there. PK is still there, true, but also he's not what he
Who's
was.
the other one?
once was.
Jordi Alba's only one other
you
one.
know, Jordi Alba was like a relatively new
Yeah.
addition compared
Later.
to Iniesta and Xavi and all
Yeah.
that. And then also like that partnership he had with Suarez is no longer there. And in replacement, he's got Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele. It's hard
And
to imagine that he's not looking around the locker room going, "Fuck,
Yeah.
what
the
happened?"
dynamics not the same.
Yeah, you can tell by body language.
The dynamics are not the same, exactly, Fred. It's a great way of saying it. The dynamics are not the same, and he's showing it. He's not happy.
Yeah.
So, going along with his predictions theme, we spoke a bit about transfer rumours. So Messi,
All about future today.
Yeah.
Nostradamus.
forget
Future
the
of
past,
football.
today's about the future.
What a line. Can you make
Um,
t-shirts with that on it?
Messi MLS.
I heard that rumor. Messi MLS. The rumor is obviously it's bullshit tabloid talk, but anyway, the rumor is that obviously he's close with Fabregas, and that their wives are very good friends. And there's rumors of Fabregas leaving Monaco and finishing in the MLS for a year or two, and then the wives are trying to convince, the partners to go together and be in America and play
So
together.
Fabregas, Suarez, and Messi and the wives are very close together.
I didn't say
think they
Suarez,
are,
but okay.
yeah.
I'm telling you, like,
So Suarez come into this.
because the three wives are very
But
close
Johnny,
together.
that's not what he heard in the rumor, mate. He didn't say Suarez.
I'm giving you information.
Johnny, he didn't say Suarez.
You're telling me a rumor. I'm giving you information. I'm giving
Okay.
you
Oh,
facts.
so you know this because you defended Suarez one time when you were 12 or some shit.
Not against him.
Oh, okay.
17 actually.
17.
But yes, there's like you always see them on Instagram going partying, going to beach, taking holidays together. Those families.
I don't
So
see- I
I
don't
wouldn't
see-
surprise. Look, in the past, Messi has come out and said, "I want to live in the US one day."
So that makes a bit. So there's a
Yeah.
bit more credibility to that story then. I don't think Suarez will leave. Suarez is doing too well at Madrid now, and I think he's got a point to prove.
What a loss to Barca that was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's got a point to prove for himself that he wants to prove a point to Barcelona. Messi, if he becomes so disoriented with Barcelona and eventually decides to leave, I don't feel that he'll go to a big rival club like a PSG
Really?
or a Man City where he'll still try and compete at that
Be
level.
on
I
the-
think
be on the
it'll
spotlight.
be like yeah, I'm just gonna go for 2 years and finish off and just chill and enjoy my football sort of thing. That's what I feel it's gonna be.
If he doesn't want that
And
pressure.
be like a superstar where he goes. I know it's not the same. Like, Ibrahimovic obviously did it, and he went there. It was all about him.
Yeah.
I don't think Messi's like that.
Different personality.
Yeah, different person. I don't believe he's like that. Like Ronaldo would want to do that, but I don't see Messi going. But Messi might go for family reasons. Family is massive to him, and it's one of the reasons why he stayed at Barcelona. But if they want to go to the States, maybe they will.
Which
And maybe
team
it'll
are-
encourage them to go with family friends.
David
and so
Beckham?
they're not on their own.
David Beckham's
Inter-
team.
You reckon
Inter.
into
Miami.
Miami?
Maybe.
They sacked their coach.
Yeah, Higuain. Link up with Higuain. Oh no, stay away from there.
Don't.
Link up, mate.
Inter. Yeah.
Can I ask you, do you reckon-
Sorry, he probably went there because he got told you're going to Inter, so he signed the contract, not realising it was Inter Miami.
Shots fired.
Do you reckon it would be a good idea? Go
To go to the
MLS for a
States?
couple of years?
That's what I'm saying. The vibe,
After the World Cup.
the vibe I would get from him is that okay, he's only going he's only leaving Barcelona. If he's leaving Barcelona, it's because he's finished his career. He's not going to the States to keep playing international football or to win something. Like, what's he going to do with the MLS? I don't give a fuck about it. But he's just going to go there because maybe it's a lifestyle change. He's going for his family. I might as well play whatever for a year or two, and that's it. And
Let's
just
bring him to the
sign
Wanderers,
off.
guys.
And he'll get, yeah, I'm sure we'll be
Get
able to
the
pay him
Harvey.
something. Fucking hell. They'll offer him lifestyle.
Someone-
Oh, you got a beach lifestyle here and that. That's all they'll offer him.
Let's give him some manouche.
Now, how about this transfer rumour? Cristiano to either United or Real Madrid.
Oh, I don't. Look, as much as what he did for Real, I don't want him to see him at the club. Sorry, like
It's so blunt.
sorry, like
You were just talking about how he single-handedly won you
Look, he did.
Champions
Yeah,
Leagues
but
in a row,
the-
and they like,
he had the 9 years there. He's
Ruthless.
left 3 years since. He's
Typical.
36 now. The times we got to move on from him.
typical Madrid
And
fans.
who are you apologising to?
To
Fatty.
fans, to you guys. I don't know.
Who knows?
I just say it
who
just
knows? They might
wasn't
look at the
habit.
podcast and put a vote up. Maybe Luka Modric will respond.
Nah, I think Abdashi doesn't want personal beef with Cristiano.
Look, I can't. I don't know. Like he's 36 now.
I'm 36.
Would you want him back? You
I mean, look, I mean, I gotta say, like, judging by what Johnny said about coming to America too, sequels don't always do as well, do they?
No, I had
Yeah, like Homecoming, someone don't do well.
What
Rubbish.
the fuck?
Hey,
Hey,
Jealous.
that's Johnny's opinion, mate. I haven't gotten a chance to see it. Have you, Fatty?
No, I haven't seen it, and you ruined it for me. All of you here on the panel.
I haven't seen it yet
I've-
either.
we didn't
You
enjoy
said it
the
was
story.
shit.
I was
haven't
just,
seen
I was
it.
excited to watch it, and I was disappointed.
Too woke, huh?
I agree with you.
Pretty much like my first time. Just all this excitement and so much disappointment.
Yeah, wow. Too progressive, politically correct. No,
Yeah.
no swearing, no fucking innuendo,
No,
no racism.
defeats the whole purpose of the whole movie.
That's right. Like the fact that he's coming to America is racist enough. Why isn't it? Why wouldn't they
It's also
continue with that?
misleading though, because isn't most of the movie set back in Zamunda?
Yes.
So it's
No,
not
it's
coming
not.
to America.
Yes, most of the movie.
Oh, the second movie.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
So it's like
What?
Fatty's getting really cut up with this.
That's
anyway,
terrible.
but no, like
No, I
I
don't
gotta
wanna
say,
see it.
I think that if Cristiano went back, I don't think he would be able to replicate the same results. That's
So
great.
you wouldn't take him back?
No,
Fucking, I'm dropping
dude,
him.
just leave it.
Yeah.
mate. He's 36 years old.
I'm getting frustrated here.
He's 36 years old, and Real Madrid are not what they were either.
Nah,
the midfield is not. Modric is in his mid-30s. Cruz is slowing down.
Ramos is getting on as well.
Benzema's not what he was.
How do you think he'll go if he went to United?
Just so there.
Just
Look,
the same. Like, he won't-
I understand what he's saying in terms of if he goes back there, it'll kind of tarnish his legacy because he left Real Madrid at the highest point. You can't. You couldn't-
3 Champions
Yeah,
League
you
winner.
couldn't leave any higher than how he left from Real
Did
Madrid.
it tarnish Henri's legacy when he went back to Arsenal?
I think Arsenal were at a point that if Henri came back and fucking spat on the grass, they'd lap it up. They were that shit. So they would have taken anything at the time.
Tell us
And
how
Henry
you really
came-
feel,
But he
mate.
only went there for like 1 year, like
wasn't
half,
even a year,
half a year.
but he came back.
He didn't tarnish Drogba's legacy when he went back to Chelsea.
Look, but I don't think that you're comparing different players. Like you're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, 3 Champions Leagues in a row with Real
Yeah.
Madrid, and these guys are
Yeah.
saying that he was a massive influence on winning those Champions Leagues. There's no way they're going to go back. If he goes back, they're going to do anything close to that.
No, he didn't have. That's
No,
not
And,
enough
and,
to
and, they may,
either.
and they may not even win anything. So then all it's going to do is people won't remember what he did before. They're going to remember how he finished there.
You think so?
100%. I mean,
I
Yeah,
don't disagree.
think so.
I don't
I
know.
mean, like,
I'll
He'll-
just give you 2 examples, and people still remember the Henri and Drogba for what they did for the clubs.
Mate, Drogba's nice and all, but he's not on the same level of Cristiano Ronaldo winning 3 European Cups in a
No,
row, mate.
I get it, but I
Come
don't
on,
think
mate.
he'll tarnish his legacy if he went back to Real Madrid for a year.
And did nothing. What's he going to do about it?
But let's say hypothetically he does nothing, Johnny.
Yeah. What
You
would
don't
it
think
do?
that would hurt his legacy?
I don't,
Like you're already saying
I
because
think-
Juve
I
lost.
think he's still he'll be a Real Madrid legend
But
regardless.
can I say
of-
something? Can I
But
say
he
something?
will.
You're already saying you're already questioning his legacy at Real Madrid because of Juve losing. If he comes back to Real Madrid and loses, you're going to be killing him every week.
You or the Real Madrid fans?
No, Johnny, because anything that would tarnish
All right, what
Cristiano
about what about him?
Ronaldo to boost up Messi, that's his agenda every week, isn't it?
Well, every time I bring Cristiano, you take a stab at Barcelona, the Catalonia
Never.
population.
Look,
And,
he'll still score his fair
They
bit of
can't even be
goals.
their own
Not,
country.
he'll still score his fair bit of goal, but not
And
the
that's
same
once to get us
amount.
back on track.
But look, the time has passed. 9 great
okay,
years. Keep it at that.
what about him at United? How do you think he'll go?
I think same thing. I think United's a basket case at the moment, and Ronaldo won't be able to save them.
He had a great
It's not gonna
United
do
team
shit.
as well.
It's not going to do shit. Like he was part of a good team.
Mhm.
He was,
Solid
and he was
side.
under Alex Ferguson. That's one thing we don't.
Man United are becoming a bit of a solid team now, though.
No,
I mean,
they're not
Bruno
becoming a solid
Fernandes
shit.
is-
They're not becoming solid nothing.
So let me ask you this: where would he go? If he, let's just say he leaves Juventus,
America.
he
That's
would,
it.
I think it's too egotistical to go.
Oh, no,
to
Yeah, but if he goes to America, he will be the most central figure
he's
in the
too,
whole of
sorry,
the MLS.
let me use a different word. He's too competitive to go to the MLS.
Maybe when he's 41, he can still go.
Honestly,
based
this
on,
might
based,
be
on
the-
his, based on his physique and his physical attributes,
Portugal probably
I think
will
at
go back.
40 he can still go to the MLS and play.
Might go
for-
back
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sporting Lisbon. He might go back to Sporting.
I agree in the fact
That would
that
be nice.
he might go to the MLS when he's 40, but I'm talking about, once again, July 1st comes. Do you think he'll go to Sporting Lisbon, or once again, do you
Nah.
think he's too competitive to
Johnny,
go to
Johnny,
Portuguese
it
league?
might be the lazy answer, but I think he would go to PSG. Sounds stupid to say, but PSG are desperate for that
You
European
sound
Cup.
like a PSG fan. Everyone's going to PSG. I hope Messi goes to PSG. I hope Ronaldo goes to PSG.
I never
hope
said
they
I
link up-
hope.
I
How's
hope they
that
link up
do
and make a
hope,
super
buddy?
team with Mbappe and Neymar. I hope.
What is his hope? I don't
Play
care
the
which
video
way.
back. Did he
It's
say
what I
hope or
think.
not?
Oh, I said I hope he goes.
Yeah.
I hope Messi leaves.
I made him angry.
Right.
He's
He's
triggered.
fired up now.
You really need to clean out those ears, buddy. You hope I hope Messi leaves. I don't give a shit.
What are you saying? Because I'm black, my ears aren't clean. Right, I don't know what to say anymore, Johnny.
All right, now there's this rumours going around of Aguero going to Barcelona
Yeah.
to maybe keep Messi happy, and then obviously Man City will be out looking for a striker, and João Felix from Atletico Madrid is a target for them.
Yeah, which is an odd one because and correct me guys if I'm wrong. Man City they play lone striker right now, right?
They play like lone strike with the two wingers.
Well, today, this morning,
Like
they-
4-2-3 kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
This
Where
morning they had
Guardiola likes
Jesus
it,
and Aguero playing together.
Sorry.
This morning they had Gabriel Jesus and Aguero playing together.
Yeah.
Fair enough, because I
Yeah.
can see. Look, I can see Felix playing in a two-man strike partnership, like right now with Suarez. I don't think he suits the lone striker position.
I don't
No,
think-
you-
Aguero was a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive,
Exactly
a
what
lot
I
more
was about to say.
I don't
well-rounded.
know if Felix is be able to hold up in the physicality of the
Aguero, as much as he may not be a physically big striker,
Yeah.
He's still solid.
he's a presence and he's got that fight about him. That he'll always pop up and he'll always be
he can
there.
hold
He'll fight for
shrug
that
off
ball.
a player. No, yeah.
He's a strong player.
Felix, I feel
He's
is
aggressive.
soft.
I feel it's still very
Raw?
gently. He
But
feels,
no, he's
I don't know.
raw. He's raw, Darcy. But also, what Fatty's saying is he's physically not the same as
Exactly what I'm saying.
Sergio
Yeah.
Aguero.
Not real physicality.
and the Spanish coming from the Spanish league and going to the Premier League are completely different things. A lot of players
Yeah.
have come from
I think-
Spain and haven't kept up with the pace or the physicality of the Premier League.
100%
Not the
agree.
he's a very technical player. It means shit when you're coming up against fucking whoever, against Sheffield United in winter.
I want to see João Felix.
Virgil van Dijk, Fatty.
I want to see
Ah,
João
fuck
Felix do
Virgil
well.
van Dijk.
I want to see João Felix do well in La Liga for a few more years, and then we'll see.
Talking about rough
Listen.
English defenders that don't kick the shit out of you.
The reason why I don't think this will happen as well is don't forget how much Atletico invested in João Felix.
They did.
True,
A lot of money.
120, 120 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But they
They
are
are-
a selling club. Like they're not exactly a club that can.
They are.
They can turn away 200 million
Unless-
hypothetically.
And that's what I'm saying. Even though Man City is a big spending club and Guardiola is known to spend a lot of money, do you think they'll go that far and spend that much money on someone like Felix?
Like,
That doesn't have a great marketing following. Doesn't like
True,
there's
true.
there's
I don't
potential, but there's not. He's not worth.
But you really, who you asking that question to? Because at the end of the day, if Bin Salman decides that he wants to buy him, then no one's going to say shit.
yeah.
If he says,
Yeah, they can't do it.
bring me the boy who plays
I want that one.
with the ball, and they'll get him. Who's going to say no to him? Guardiola or the club? What?
It's not about whether
Upper
they
management?
can't, they
No one's
can
gonna
or
say
can't.
shit.
They can do it, but whether it's
He
the right
can
move
buy
for
whoever
him.
the fuck he
Do you
wants.
think it's? I know that, but do you think it's worth it? Would you
I don't
spend
think-
150
No.
on Felix?
Me, no.
No, not
No,
yet.
I wouldn't either.
Not now.
I think he's still too unproven.
Yeah.
And I think there are flaws to him moving to Premier League, like we've discussed.
Let's see a couple
could
more
ruin
years.
him. It
Give
could
him
ruin
a
him
couple
as a
more
player.
years.
100%.
A couple more years in La Liga, see him develop more and see what he can achieve, and then we'll see.
Honestly, like I think if like Adas is right in terms of a couple of years more, but after that, if I was him, I would end up going to Barcelona. It suits his
Yeah.
game. He's
Okay,
a
yeah, I'll
technically
say that.
skilled player. Like he doesn't unless he stays at Atletico and becomes a club legend, which is fair enough to him.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why he would need to go to Premier League.
At the moment now, he's got Suarez there as well, so he could be refining that.
Is
aspect
Suarez
of
signed a
the game.
1 year deal or 2 years
I don't
deal?
know.
sure.
You know, more 2 years maybe.
That's just guessing.
I don't think.
Oh,
I
it
don't
was
think.
free.
he can
Darcy,
do
give
it.
us that stat.
It
Give
was
us
free.
that. 3?
No, it was a free transfer.
free.
Free transfer.
Free, mate. Free.
Free.
My ears are fucking need to be cleaned out.
Free.
Speaking of La Liga, predictions. Who's going to win it?
Oh, it's getting closer now in the league, actually. Atletico Madrid had all those games in hand, and they were like 9 points clear. Had a few games where they lost a couple or drew here and there, and they drew again this morning. Now
It's Getafe.
Yes. Now they're 6 points clear of Real. Barcelona played tomorrow morning, so they can go back into second. So I'm gonna say Atletico will
Hold
pull
on.
through this year. I think. As Real, as much as I want to see them pull off another miracle comeback, I think Atletico with Suarez factor will play a big part for them in getting there this time. I think.
Honestly, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to go risky. I'm going to say Real Madrid to win it.
I hope you prove me wrong.
Why?
For me, okay, sorry. Fuck,
We
you
have
took,
to
you
do
took a
why.
while to get to the second part of that answer.
No, I thought you said why. That's all.
No, I didn't say shit.
Honestly, I think their midfield is too good. I think we have too much depth. I think Benzema and will be able to provide the goods when
You
it
said
matters.
Benzema was getting on.
He is getting on, but that doesn't
But
mean
he's-
he can't contribute at all.
He's still playing really
It's
well,
not, It's not
actually.
an or or nothing fatty. He's getting on, and he can still
The
contribute.
problem
black
is
or white for me.
the problem is if he's
Black or
out,
white.
if-
No grey.
Everything's just extreme, mate. Like
Yes.
he's able to contribute, and I think Ramos will come back and be able to, perform to his standards. And you never know. Hazard is a great wild card. If he comes back and is able to regain some form, then all of a sudden,
played 15 minutes this morning, so I had to
he
progress.
15 minutes, guys.
That's all his fitness could handle.
What's your prediction?
I think it's between the two Madrid clubs.
Okay.
I don't see Barcelona having that. There's too much shit going on at the moment. I don't see them lasting.
You know what? Though it's funny. This season's been crazy because no one's been like outstanding. Like Barca
Yeah,
have
that's
been
right.
average. Real haven't taken advantage of that either, and Atletico have pulled away. Even then, now
Atletico certainly haven't taken advantage of it.
They were, and
They were
then
on fire at the beginning of the season. I
now
don't
I'm
know
saying
what
they
happened.
were. Now they've had a bit of a skid of games.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a close race.
I'm going to be controversial
Saying
and say
Barcelona.
Atletico or Barcelona.
That's not
Anyone but
controversial at
Real.
all.
You know, of course.
It's not controversial at
Which-
all, though, Johnny.
Yeah.
Well, everyone said Real Madrid around me, but
I didn't say
I
Real
don't-
Madrid. I said
I
one of the Madrid.
I said
But
clubs.
that's
Atletico
Atletico
might
Madrid.
pull it off
Now
this
who
year.
needs to listen, mate?
Clean your ears out,
I'd-
bro.
hopefully Atletico hold on to it, and I think they'll be out of the Champions League next week against Chelsea.
You don't think they'll get returned?
If I'm following on from what I saw in the first game, I don't think they'll be able to do it.
My tips double chance Atletico for that game. Just to remind everyone from last week.
So it might be a draw.
Get on
I
it.
might be right.
$1.72 double chance.
We both
Yeah.
might be right if it's a draw.
Draw works. Get on it.
So I think they'll have just the La Liga to concentrate on, and they can hold on to that. Same thing as Barcelona. Now they're out of the Champions League, they'll focus solely on the league title. And I don't know what the rest of the fixtures going to be like.
Well, Real play
So you're saying-
Barcelona.
So you're saying Real Madrid is going to go through past Atlanta?
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
But
You made him happy.
Real play
Yeah.
Barcelona still,
You
and
can suck my dick later, actually.
Oh, that's probably worse than any swear I've ever done.
I'll read his
Jeez.
stuff there, guys. But
That's X.
extra. That's all right.
Anyway,
But anyway, yeah, Real still to play Barca at Real the Stefano Stadium, and then but Real.
Wow, these guys playing wherever they want.
That's the training ground.
Why are you playing at training ground?
The stadium's under
Being
construction.
So La Liga just lets you do whatever you want. Yeah, sure. Play your training ground today.
It's a standard rule.
It gives us it's COVID.
And this is why the Premier League's better than the Liga. You can't just play anywhere you want to play.
God.
Dude, they've been playing under
Wait,
the
Tottenham played at
Stefano
Wembley.
Stadium for the last 2 seasons.
Oh, Wembley.
Wembley.
You're comparing Wembley with a training pitch.
Dude, they've been playing under the training pitch for the last 2
Wimbledon's
seasons.
a
That's
national
embarrassing.
stadium.
What?
I
Wimbledon's
know.
a national
You
stadium.
just compared Wembley to a training pitch. It's
Okay, it's
embarrassing.
COVID, who cares? There's no
Yeah,
fans.
no one's fans
No one's-
anyway.
Embarrassing. Anyways, North London derby happening tonight for us. By the time the video comes out, it'll be already done.
Yeah,
So I want to hear your
3:30 AM.
prediction, Fatalicious.
Look, honestly, the last few London derbies were absolutely abysmal. We're terrible.
You sound scared.
Huh?
You sound
I'm
scared.
not scared we're going to lose.
He's
It's
honest.
we're absolutely abysmal.
Defeatist.
Why?
get a
Why?
score, Fatty?
Why? So why do you think you're gonna lose? Is it the Mourinho factor? Is it the Arsenal defending factor?
Mourinho
Is it-
factor.
Defensively, we're poor. Secondly, Tottenham the last couple of years always lift for a North London derby.
Well, they've got nothing else to play for, so
They never have anything to play for except that. It's not like they win trophies, but they lift for those games because that's all they play for. Arsenal, we're just going through that transition. Arteta's done it before as a player. I don't know if that can translate as a manager. I don't see him doing it. We struggle. We stay in there thereabouts, but we don't have that tenacity or that desire that Tottenham has recently. As hard as it is to say, whereas from the late 90s, early 2000s, even to mid 2010s, Tottenham weren't even close.
score prediction.
3-1 Tottenham.
Wow. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I reckon 4-0 Tottenham.
4-0.
Maybe 5.
I
I
reckon,
reckon 2-2 draw.
Wow.
yeah, I reckon draw, 1 goal difference.
2-2 draw. But I
In
think
saying that, look, Arsenal's defense is shocking.
Yeah, terrible.
I think
I watched the highlights against Olympiacos, and I felt like
Rubbish. Like what's he trying to do? Turn inside and play it while he's facing his own goal. Trying to play it with the player coming from one side.
Honestly,
Who does that?
I was mucking around with the 4-5-0 kind of thing, but they've spent a lot of money in their defense.
Yeah, but there's a lot of changes. A lot of changes. Like they brought in Mustafi a few years ago. Now he's gone.
Yeah.
Socrates came and he went out.
Kolasinac left.
Yeah, like too many
But like
changes.
signing all these young centre backs, you know.
But the thing,
Saliba, how much was
Yeah, but
Saliba?
Saliba came and he's gone there. He's out on loan.
but
Yeah, it's crazy.
the thing you talk about the defence, and then you can't make mistakes with guys like Kane and Son lurking around.
That's what I'm saying. The problem is Tottenham is very, very ruthless
They'll
up
punish
front.
you.
Yeah, very, very ruthless up front. They've got their own problems as well. Very inconsistent.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the North London derby, recently they've had the stick on us. So
What do you think the problem with Tottenham's inconsistency? Is it the midfield? Maybe defence? Because I mean,
general.
like, Kane and Son have been on fire this year. They're playing well.
Bale's having a few good games as well. No.
Finally,
Yeah.
maybe this
I don't
week
know.
will get him
They
off our
just
books.
lack
finally.
that factor, that big team factor, the
yeah,
winning
that
mentality.
They don't have that mentality.
Yeah, I reckon.
The last trophy was 13 years ago.
I don't know.
I think Kane
Carling Cup.
is a big game player. I just think it's something to do with the investment in the midfield. The Celso's not really, done as much as they thought.
So,
And Ndombele was like 45 million. He's going to be a big disappointment.
Sissoko as well.
Maybe.
They don't. As Johnny said, they don't have that winning mentality. They haven't once. They don't know how to win.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, they can put together some good results. They can upset the big teams every now and again.
Just to
They're
keep
never.
it up.
They're never going to be
And then
more than that.
they'll drop to like a Sheffield United or a Burnley.
They'll never.
Well, subconsciously, I think they know they expect to lose or to not win titles, and that's what's hurting them. It's a mentality, 100%.
Oh, fair enough.
Let me get off to a completely different topic now and see what you guys think of this.
Is it football related?
It is football related. yeah.
Off topic.
If you're on cooking tips, I'll give some later. But right now, we're talking football. So I saw something about Haaland and Mbappe becoming the next Cristiano and Messi, respectively.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a fair assumption or a fair comparison?
No, not even.
Well,
Not even
Haaland's big, strong, scores goals. Mbappe's quick, skillful, scores goals. So do you think that, obviously that's where he came from, you don't think it's...
I see Mbappe has the potential, and in his very short career and at the age he's at, he's still done a lot. He's won a World Cup. He's done amazing things with PSG and in the Champions League, so he's done it at the highest level. Haaland, I think, is too early. I think it's too early. I don't know. I think he's being hyped up at Dortmund. I don't know if he can do it outside of Dortmund. I don't know.
We said this last time when he came from, what's it called? Salzburg?
Red Bull Salzburg, yeah.
So he said, we don't know, it's just he's winning for Salzburg, we'll see how he goes. He came to Dortmund, he doesn't stop scoring goals. So, look, like I said, it's still way too early for my liking as well.
Yeah.
And
But if you look at his stats, his how many goals per minute and stuff like that,
Apparently,
it's
he's
freakish.
He's the youngest ever player to score 20 Champions League goals.
yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
It only took 14 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know, youngest ever player, but like
He's
14,
out-
yeah.
the most
quickest.
least amount of game
he-
quickest.
His output's amazing.
Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo took like 50 games.
Messi took a bit longer.
Yeah, he's taken 20 games. Look, but I at the end of the day, I still agree with Fatty though. It's funny, something about him just doesn't convince.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Think his game's limited maybe compared to
I don't
Mbappe?
know.
No, for me,
Not
it's his
limited.
game. His game is like, despite the results, his game is for me something too one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Doesn't have enough technique. Doesn't have enough movement. Can't pass the ball very well. No vision. I don't know. Something about that is just.
So would you say, forgive the comparison,
Yeah.
but he's more of a Van Nistelrooy than a Cristiano?
Yes, 100%.
I
More of a poacher. I think it's
Lewandowski.
don't know if he's
maybe?
more of a poacher or not Lewandowski.
Look, he scored
Lewandowski has skill and technique, Darcy.
Yeah.
He scored a couple of goals from outside the box. Yes.
I think he's more like Batistuta, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Physical, strong, very fast.
Yeah,
and
I'll say that.
has a massive long shot.
Because
very
Batistuta, in his own
powerful.
way, was very one-dimensional. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't agile. He wasn't.
No, you're right.
He was a strong. He was
But at the same time,
he was a
he's not
beast.
he's more than a pure poacher though.
Yeah.
He can score the long shots. He can score the individual goals. Athletically, I think Haaland's a freak. That's the only thing is like how athletic is he, and how would that serve him going forward? But I don't know. Something about him just doesn't convince.
Yeah.
Mbappe, I'm completely sold on.
In my opinion, these two players would not reach the heights of the other two. So I don't think Haaland or
They won't
Mbappe
reach the same
will
heights.
reach the heights of Cristiano or Messi.
From the current crop of players, I think the only player that's close enough to do that or has the potential to would be Mbappe.
Yeah, I think
Not
Mbappe,
to equal them, but to sort of push or to have a chance to, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's always got more of a chance to do it internationally with France compared to Haaland with Norway, who didn't make the Euro.
Look,
That's a given.
I don't think he'll challenge him, but you're right. He might be the next superstar.
Yeah.
Because before Messi,
But
and
really, who else is
Cristiano-
going to challenge?
Yeah, right now I wouldn't have anyone else's.
and that challenge is almost impossible. Like I don't know.
No, like
if
forget the
anyone-
challenging. Like I said,
Yeah.
these two are from a different planet.
Yeah.
But Griezmann didn't rise up to be anyone a
No.
superstar.
Neymar, they thought Neymar was going to be there, but his injuries.
Neymar.
Neymar.
Can't even say his name because he plays for Barcelona. So it's blasphemy.
He hates him.
It's blasphemy to say his name correctly.
Sorry, I've said the bad N word there.
But no, I think Mbappe. Like honestly, I see a lot of R9 in him. I see his
Yeah.
speed. I see the dribbling skills. I see his goal scoring.
He was his idol. Ronaldo was Mbappe's idol, so he obviously modelled or watched a lot of him and tried to emulate him or replicate things that he did.
I thought he
So
was
it makes
watching.
sense.
I thought he was watching Donatello.
No.
Yeah.
The thing is, a question of those two: should they not play for the same team if they're going to reach their potential? If they play in the same team,
I can see them
You
playing
think it'll hamper
together.
them?
What you mean, Haaland and Mbappe?
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, first of all, I think that they actually could complement each other pretty well. I think Mbappe's turned into a wing player, and
just
Haaland is a
target
very
man.
central player. If you played in a 4-3-3,
Yeah.
I think they could do really well. But at the same time, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still so unconvinced by Haaland. I can see Haaland leave Dortmund, go to Real Madrid, go to Premier League, and not produce.
Example, sorry. Going back to your point, you bring Haaland into this PSG team, he'll fit in perfectly. With you play with like Di Maria and if Neymar was injured, I haven't even thought of Neymar because he's injured. But Di Maria and
Mbappe.
Mbappe, and you put Haaland in the middle,
Yeah.
it could work. So yes, they can play together.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Next point, probably the last one before we get to latest tips. Joachim Low leaving as Germany coach.
Yeah, he's been around forever. He was assistant to Jurgen Klinsmann at 2006 World Cup, took the top job after that tournament, and had so much success, like Euro 2008, runner-up, 2010 World Cup, third place, 2012 Euro semi-finalists, 2014 World Cup winners, obviously,
Yeah.
2016 Euro semi-finals, and then had that bad World Cup in 2018, group stage knockout for various reasons, I think overconfidence and some other issues, and then the tipping point for them was that 6-0 loss to Spain in the Nations League. I guess you could say that they hit a low point at the time.
Oh, wow. I like that. I enjoy
I have
that.
nothing to say to that.
He's very proud of himself with that one. Look at him.
Sorry.
So, do we know why
He's working
the...
that one up the whole time. He's just ticking through his mind.
Yeah,
This is
think
why
you
he wants to
planned
speak
that-
about him.
Yeah.
I
This
think
is
you
why...
planned that earlier in the day,
Yeah.
man.
look, he's
100%.
done really well for the national team, but the thing is, he's been just in a national team setup for so long, and whether he can replicate that at club level, which is day-to-day work with the players, is another story.
That's interesting as well because for those that watch football, recently, whatever, and for in short history, you don't think of any other German national team manager other than him. Like, yeah, you remember Klinsmann, but it was just a very brief moment, and before that, you wouldn't really think twice.
He was a coach in 02.
Rudy Voller.
Fuck, Rudy Voller.
Yeah. That was a very underwhelming
Gold-
team that got to the
Goldilocks.
final somehow.
So it's Rudy Voller, then Klinsmann, and the Snot Man.
Boogeyman.
The boogeyman.
Boogeyman.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, he always
So
had-
apparently Klopp was approached and he turned it down.
Yeah, look, I heard Klopp was approached for that job, but Klopp did say that I think after Liverpool he might take a break from coaching for a bit. So yeah, whether he takes a
Isn't it
national
funny?
team
Isn't it
job.
funny? Germans always have a German coach only.
Is that true?
I don't think I've ever seen him have a foreigner.
Wow, fair enough.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But they
So I'm
trust
I'm
their.
trying to think. Italians, would they have they had a foreign coach recently?
Not
No,
that I can
no,
think
Not
of.
that I know of, no.
They've not had one for
But you know
maybe
what?
a long,
It's
long
pro-
time.
Brazilians, Argentina. You think of these big nations. Apart from England, you think of these big nations, and I don't think they'll go
Spain
away.
haven't. I think.
No.
Spain haven't.
But I think
Holland?
it's also a
No, I don't think
The
so.
Dutch are.
No.
I think it's also a nationalist like pride sort of thing.
Are you calling,
Yeah.
are you calling them Nazis?
Sorry, bro. Fuck. No, I think it's more of a pride thing, and also with those coaches, but going back to Germany, they've all been through that system, so they understand the way, and Germany always plays the same way. So it's very methodical, very efficient, structured, blah blah blah. So they always imagine trying to bring in someone like fucking Sven-Göran Eriksson to go.
Yeah.
To go and
Someone
coach,
that's probably not in that
They
culture.
wouldn't understand.
or Capello or someone like that. It's going to be
Yeah.
different. They're not
Yeah.
gonna get it.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see who takes it next.
Yeah, so this will be
Who are the other
Euro
options?
2020, 21, what you want to
Like,
call
let's
it.
say Klopp
Last
doesn't
one.
happen. Who's the next German coach that's
Hansi
really
Flick,
achieved?
maybe.
Yeah.
What he's done at Bayern.
Who's the one that
There's a couple-
retired from Bayern Munich?
Your Plankers.
Yes.
Yeah, if he wants a cruisy job, or
I see a national
not cruisy,
team.
but
Tuchel?
like Thomas Tuchel. Maybe it depends how he goes at Chelsea.
Yeah, maybe.
See, I see a national team more of a later in your career
Yeah.
kind of job.
But you've got to have a lot of respect there as well, because you're going to be dealing with superstars.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. You're not dealing with a club team where you've got a
You got a
a
lot of
vast spread of players.
You got a lot of scouting as well,
And
watching
you've got very
games.
limited time.
and
Yeah.
especially with a nation like Germany, expectations are very very high.
True.
Yeah,
Germany out before the semi-finals is a failure to them.
yeah. Oh, that's the thing. You look at the
100%.
records since 1974.
When you're looking at any major tournament, whether it be Euro or World Cup,
quarterfinals minimum.
it's always
Every
when you talk
time.
about who's going to be your top four, who's going to make the final four, Germany's always in there, whether it be either tournament.
Yeah, quarterfinals minimum. Except
You-
that 2018.
You'd be a brave
that
man
was the
to bet
exception.
against them not being in that top four.
Yeah.
So
It's come to the time
Tips.
everyone's been waiting for.
Tips.
Oh,
Yeah,
Whether-
I can't wait to listen.
Whether
wait.
banks are contacted, whether houses are lost and won, wives are gambled. Talk to us.
well, obviously you mentioned the North London derby. It's happening tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's always goals in that game. Over 2.5 goals has got to be very very safe. I don't know what it's paying, to be honest. I didn't actually look at it. But Johnny, you might help me out. I was a bit rushed today. But over 2.5 goals in North London derby. If you want to multi it together, I would put Tottenham to win as well. It's always
So you have no hope whatsoever for Arsenal in this game.
no. I'm just not convinced the way we play. We just don't have the mentality. We have sparks, and there are games where they either turn it on or just completely fall apart. And the North London derby isn't one of those games where we turn it on.
Which is a
Recently,
shame.
anyway. Yeah, which is a shame. Because you'd think out of everything, if you had nothing to play for, that would be
You'd
the
want to
pride
beat,
that
beat
you
your
play for.
rival.
That's
Yeah.
right, 100%. You beat your direct rival and think, at least you're doing something.
Yeah.
So anyway, over 2.5 goals, Arsenal Spurs. The other game being played, Leicester.
Sorry, is Matt Ryan playing?
I don't know actually. I don't know if he's going to get a start. He got a run against who did he play?
Pacos, was it?
No.
No, Olympiacos before that. He only played one game where they lost. I don't remember what it was now. That's how much I pay attention. See.
Sorry, go on.
The other game, I'm going to stick to EPL, just FYI, because these are tips that come off. So,
Well, everyone is
EPL
saying,
tips?
please focus
mate,
to
I'm
EPL.
just telling you now. These are the EPL tips. So here they are. What are they paying? Over 2.5 goals.
$1.90.
Yeah, good money.
Double your money.
Good money. Well, it's not double. It's 10 cents.
Oh
off.
my god,
Doubling
you know
your
what I
money.
mean. Oh, speaking of, I've got a funny story about gambling. Go on.
The other game being played overnight as well. Leicester City playing bottom place Sheffield United.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, clubs that are fighting relegation always seem to pull off results against bigger clubs because they need to survive. Sheffield United's about 8 or 9 points off the pace at the bottom. They really have almost no hope with 8 to 9 games left to play, or whatever it is.
They're gone.
I don't think they're going to make it out of there. Leicester City, that second, third, fourth in the Premier League is very, very tight. Man City's almost run away with it. So Champions League spots are, these are going to be the games where you've got to pick up points,
Yeah.
and you need to win the easier games, so
Yeah.
to speak.
So you're saying they're going to win it?
Leicester City should comfortably cruise this at $1.50. It's not the highest odds, but it's it's my safety of the week.
Okay.
Leicester City should do the business at home against Sheffield United.
Any other ones or just them two?
There's a final game overnight. Those actually playing? I forgot.
Man United,
Man
West Ham.
Man United, West Ham. That's an interesting one because West Ham is 5th, I believe. Only a couple of points off that top 4, so they're not far off. They're having a great season. I don't think they're strong enough. They've always pulled off a result against United at Old Trafford for some reason. Even from Di Canio days, that was used to cause an upset.
I remember Tevez scoring one to
Yeah,
make sure West Ham didn't get relegated.
that's right. That was the Tevez Mascherano when they first signed for West Ham, and
That's awkward deal ever.
And
eh?
then
in that deal that was talked about third-party ownership and ended up being so illegal, and all these rules started to get changed and whatnot.
Dr. Murray's
Look,
sponsored jersey.
that's an interesting one.
Holding that up.
United obviously had Europa League, and they're back in the Premier League. They're back at home. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I don't think there's going to be many goals in this game.
Jesse
to be honest.
Lingard going back to his old club.
Yeah, that's right.
So what are you betting on?
I would bet in under goals, under 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a close game.
$1.80.
There you go.
So $5.15 if you put all.
Fuck, I wouldn't know what to go. What'd you put for the Tottenham game? The
Everton,
goals?
yeah, 2.5.
Oh, Everton 2.5. That's not bad if you say 10 million.
You know
goals on
what?
it.
Cheeky one though. Man United West Ham draw 340.
That's very cheeky. It's very likely to be a draw that game. Like I can see a 1-1 or something like that.
So my funny story is one of the boys, Kerridge, shout out to you.
K Rod.
So he reckons that once he saw a horse that was paying 98 cents to win.
98 cents.
So like it doesn't make sense.
So the horse hasn't raced yet, but you've already lost money.
no, if you win, you lose money. So if he comes off, you got to pay 2% on top of it. So why would you put money on it? Anyways, he's sticking to his guns. He reckons that once he saw the market that
98
low,
cents.
but it was 98 cents. If
Because
you
that horse was that safe that you had to pay money to the bookies because they were that certain that he's
if you won, if you won, you're like, yeah, sorry, now I got to pay more.
Yeah. We're so confident, guys, that this guy's winning. You got to pay us.
This is the same bloke that put $10 on Mickey Mouse to become the next CEO of Disney. There was a market, and he threw $10 at $110 as a cheeky, just in case it came off.
Hey, $1,000.
Stranger things have happened. Well,
Have they really? I don't know.
that's why we did it.
They really?
Donald Trump's become president, so there you go.
Hey, that was good. I won some good money on that, actually. Fuck, that was great.
And all right. On that note, so a future episode today, we'll see how our predictions have come along. We'll see if Inter will win the Serie A. We'll see if Atletico will win La Liga.
Well, we're not that far off. We're talking about 8 to 10 weeks for most seasons.
Yeah, look, we didn't even touch Premier League because we know who's going to win it.
So I already mentioned that. I mentioned Man City's already run away with it. I don't think unless they have a catastrophic
I think we all agree on
loss
that.
of like five games in a row.
They're too strong, too much depth.
Yeah, they're just going to coast it out now and focus on Champions League.
Oh, we'll see you guys. Anything else before we go?
Oh no, just guys, if you could like the video, comment about anything we've talked about today, and if this is the first time you're watching us, please subscribe.
Thank you very much, Ak. We'll see everyone next week. See you later.